Guys, so to me, Saturday's matchup in Manhattan feels about as stark as any contrast we've had this year. Maybe the Texas game for Baylor. So despite its road loss in Austin, Kansas State is in the midst of a very solid season. Wildcats are 6-3 overall, defending Big 12 champions, and they still have a path to get back to Arlington, back to Jerry World, but they will need some help along the way. Win out and have some other teams lose. But as for Baylor, well, it's definitely not going to Jerry World. The Bears will not be competing for a Big 12 title. And they have a decidedly uphill climb even to get to 6 wins and bowl eligibility. I know weird things happen in college football, but where would a Baylor upset rank on the weirdo meter for 2023? Zach, take us away.
Yeah, I think it'd be supremely weird. I know I just look at Kansas State and, they're so well coached and just kind of that fundamental football team that, we all love, right? I know Baylor has had its struggles against running quarterbacks, and last week against Houston, Donovan Smith had his, kind of led the way for Houston and led them in rushing yards. And, running backs aside for Kansas State, whether you're looking at Will Howard or Avery Johnson, both of them have ability to kind of beat you with your legs. So I think Kansas State has a big advantage in that department, and something Baylor has not proven to be able to stop. And so an upset for me would be very weird, right? So
yeah, monumental would be. Tim, I mean, I assume you guys are expecting, the Wildcats to roll in this one and go right into that Kansas matchup next week.
Absolutely. I think that K-State going into Texas was one of the best rushing teams in the country. They're still up there. They're not as far up there as they were. Texas kind of got them slowed down a little bit. I don't think that Baylor has the caliber of defensive line that Texas trots out there, and I think that they're looking forward to kind of getting back to pounding the ball and really having some nice long prolonged drives and just kind of wearing defenses out. So I'm expecting that on Saturday.
Yeah, Johnny, you've seen a lot of weird things over the years, but I mean, how would a Baylor win over K-State? Where would that rank?
Brice, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I agree. I had to throw it out there.
Right. I mean, this is just a terrible matchup for Baylor on the road against a really physical team. You remember last year, Brice, Baylor was playing really well. They just had road wins over Tech and Oklahoma, and we thought, wow, I mean, they could get back to the Big 12 championship game. Well, K-State just rolled them. They came out playing really rough physical football, and that was at McLean Stadium. And I mean, Baylor wasn't even really in the game, and that's what that game kind of started the downhill slide for the Baylor football program. They just haven't really.
So blame the Wildcats. Blame Chris Kleiman. All you Baylor fans, get off Dave Aranda's case. Blame Chris Kleiman.
Right, but I just don't think they've played a really well. They've played, they've got a couple road wins this year, but this I don't think they're going to stay unbeaten on the road.
No, I agree. Obviously, they are 2-0 on the road, which is probably got to be the fewest road games of probably any team in the Big 12. But Cincy, UCF, I mean, those are different teams than Kansas State. I mean, let's just face it.